One of the most mysterious and hyped games for the rest of 2023 is Armored Core 6 Fire of the Rubicon, mostly because the Armored Core series has always been very, very unique. I actually grew up playing Armored Core, and let me tell you, as a fan of them, they're more than just your standard mech games. They have deep story, they have very crazy customization of building your exact mech. But nowadays, when we think of From Software, 99% of the population remembers Dark Souls. So how are they handling a mech game in the era of the Soulsborne? Interestingly enough, they've released a bunch of impressions. Apparently at Summer Games Fest, they showed a bunch of people top secret gameplay that they've now released, and it seems like they're making a very Dark Souls version of Armored Core, and personally, I'm very happy about that. Let's discuss. What's up gamers, DreamcastGuy here. Hi, hope you're having a great day. If you could like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. So, there is a ton of videos right now from pretty much all the Dark Souls YouTubers. You can see this here is Vate Vidya. Tons of different journalists and stuff. Got a chance to see it. And even looking at this gameplay, it seems utterly glorious. Here he's doing some slow-mo to actually point out about the fact that it does have this like mid-air lock-on system. I have watched every single second of gameplay, and I'm actually very surprised by just how impressively complete this looks. Not as an insult to From Software, but there have been some leaks that this game has been done for almost a year. It's baffling to actually consider this, but apparently From Software finished Elden Ring, then they finished this game, and now they're already working on their next game. Like, I have no idea how these people make games so freaking fast, but I actually wanted to take a look at some impressions from people and what they're saying about it, because it feels like I do believe that a lot of people are a little bit nervous that Armored Core will be too Dark Souls, too Elden Ring, too focused on heavy difficulty and big parries. I think this is going to be very approachable. Previous Armored Core games like For Answer and stuff were incredibly good, but there is a separate style of fan base to Armored Core. Armored Core 6, I definitely believe this is going to be the most popular Armored Core of all time, but I have noticed some people saying they don't want it to just be mech Dark Souls. But here's this. Starting off, let's take a look at this tweet from Jeff Grubb. I saw but not played Armored Core 6 in a theater at Summer Game Fest, and despite knowing that this will make some of you mad, I couldn't help but see the ways that this was informed by Souls and Sekiro games. Stagger. Press up on the D-pad to use one of 3 repair kits, which is basically the Estus flask. The lock-on system. This stuff seems really surprising to me at this scale and speed. You jet forward and then immediately strafe. It feels like a big vehicle moving around and not a character. And the levels have this massive verticality. It is impressive. Now, I do feel like Jeff Grubb, when he gets excited about a game, he gets really excited. Even reading this, I can definitely feel his excitement shining through. But I wanted to actually take a look specifically at this breakdown list. Iron Pineapple is a very Dark Souls focused YouTuber, and he decided not to make a video about this, but he also saw a bunch of gameplay. So let's take a look at his takes on this. So I was lucky enough to see Armored Core 6 gameplay, and I'm sure you're going to see lots of video analysis from YouTubers and journalists. I am choosing to just share some thoughts here, since I don't feel confident in a video breakdown until I try it for myself, which totally fair. Obviously, if you're a guy like this who specializes in pixel breakdowns and talking about invincibility frames in a dodge roll, maybe you probably don't want to talk about stuff till you play it. But he says this. First of all, it looks great. I'm kind of confused why they're choosing to reveal it privately like this. Second, and I know people are going to get mixed reactions to this, it's actually kind of Souls-like in some big ways. I'm sure some Armored Core vets will scoff at this, but it's true. The pace of combat, a hard lock-on, an estus flask, a stagger mechanic that's eerily similar to Sekiro, down to the UI being the same, big bosses that telegraph their major attacks that you're supposed to dodge. It's Armored Core, but there's so much modern From Software influence to it. Now, he is correct. A lot of Armored Core fans do not want this game to be influenced by Dark Souls. I definitely have seen a heavy sentiment basically saying, look, From Software has separate tones. They have separate vibes. A game like this is meant to be different. I mean, obviously, not only are these games like taking place on Mars and far off planets and have crazy, weird, intricate political stuff about the horribleness of mercenary-based warfare, but on top of that, the gameplays are very different. I mean, even in these videos, a lot of times they're actually showing the fact that one of the more interesting aspects of Armored Core is the mech building, actually making your particular exact thing, that way you can have jump jets and rifles and stuff like that. I do think people are afraid of taking the incredible complexity of Armored Core, which at times can actually even go so far as to be daunting, and simplifying it down to a more normalized gear system, something that is closer to an Elden Ring, where you're just worrying about your head and your main hand and your offhand. But to me, this does still sound great. I mean, as a fan of Elden Ring and a fan of freaking Armored Core and their other stuff like King's Field, I'm actually incredibly freaking hyped for the fact that they're trying to combine their peanut butter with their chocolate. They're making the Reese's Pieces of video games here. Let me go back to this. A big standout for me is the levels. They're huge, they're very vertical, and just about visually striking. It's hard to say how much freedom there will be when approaching objectives based on what we saw, but I really hope they take advantage of the scale here. I mean, even in these videos, it does seem like you can literally just fly around and stuff. I am kind of curious if you could, like, if the boss is over here, I wonder if you have enough fuel you could just, scoot past some enemies. That would actually be incredibly cool. Man, I gotta say, graphically, this game looks so god dang good. Oh, I want to play this game more than I want oxygen in my lungs. Okay, but back to this guy here. He says, the thing that drew me in most was the mech customization. This is a staple of Armored Core, but I'm excited for it all the same. Different mechs play very differently, and it seems like fights can go from very hard to very easy based off the mech choice. Mid-mission swapping is a thing too. Yes, this is a great thing. One of the things that made the original Armored Cores incredibly difficult for me back in the day was that if you made a mech, sometimes early mission it'd be easy because you have long range sniper shots and it's a bunch of enemies that are just in a forest, easy to blow them up. But then later on, there's a bunch of close quarters fights and you're straight up not equipped to deal with it. The fact that we can swap, that is awesome. That's so good. Thank God. Next up, here's a bit of a mech customization alongside a couple boss fights for Armored Core 6. Look how cool this is. Oh man, I do love that. Oh my gosh, look at this montage. Look how good that mech looks as well, my gosh. Whoa, look at that laser sword. What the heck? Look at that dodge roll. This does look very, very Dark Souls to me. Man. Oh, he's using like different mech equipment to actually be able to fight differently. Oh, there's like the melee spec where you're actually getting close. Oh my god, look at a melee combo. Oh my god, he like EMP'd him. Whoa, okay. That is immensely cool. So, there really is different ways to take on bosses. It seems like anyways. This guy's mech is really built for his speed, his play style. Man, I feel like this is going to be extra interesting when it comes out because people are going to be making like YouTube videos of like easiest builds. I'm curious because obviously Elden Ring, people really mocked the magic build for being so much easier. I wonder what the magic build in this is going to be. There's going to be like a mix of like a dodge system and a sniper system. Sorry. Okay, last tweets here. This clip should give you a sense of the scale of the levels I mentioned. Skip to the end if you want to see a mech get kicked off a cliff. Very promising. You know what? I do want to see a mech get kicked off a cliff. Wow. This level does look very, very big. Oh my god, he's going to kick that guy off a cliff. I'm ready for it. Do it. Oh my god. Oh my god, he's doing it. This is about to be game of the year. Here we go. Game of the year. Oh! You know what? I want to play this so freaking bad. These have been incredibly positive impressions. I'm glad to see that everybody seems to be so excited about it. I mean, just breakdowns of it. Boosters allowing for faster traversal, impressive lighting system. Devs want it to be challenging, but include multiple tools to overcome it. Big focused on customization. Menus pop up on death, allowing you to instantly tweak your mech. This seems brilliant. Seriously, the biggest congrats. I don't know how Fromsoft keeps cranking out such bangers, but at this point, even if you're a person that only played Elden Ring, which a lot of people actually began the Souls series with Elden Ring, pay attention to Armored Core. Even if you don't like mechs, even if you don't like magic, even if you don't want to play a far-off space game, I think this is something that's going to be very interesting to see the conversation around it when it releases here pretty soon. But that's just my thoughts on their thoughts. What do you think? Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. And please like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. And please keep dreaming. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.